Welcome to BODHI Yoga Online. I'm Krista Cahill, and we are going to practice a 90 minutes vinyasa flow. This is Chris, and he's going to be helping to demonstrate the postures for me. So please come into a cross-legged position of your choice. You can do an Ardha Padmasana or Sukhasana, full Padmasana if that's easy for you. Any position with your hands, palms up, palms down, shoulders relaxed, eyes closed. Breathe. Continue to allow the weight of the elbows to drop. Drop your awareness down into your two sitting bones, and as you press those sitting bones down, lifting the two sides of the spine vertically. Give a little mini opening to the outer corners of your collarbones. Bring your shoulder blades onto your upper back. Press up through the crown of the head. See if you can find energetic extension vertically. Keeping your breath smooth and even without any tension, open your eyes. You're going to reach your hands forward and hook your thumbs, one on top of the other. Make sure your inner elbows are completely straight. Reach through your fingers. And now try to pull your inner shoulder blades and the outer corners of your collarbones apart without bending the elbows. See how much tension you can create in both the inner upper arms, the biceps, and the outer upper arms, your triceps. On an inhale, open the shoulder blades a little wider and then bring your arms all the way up as high as you can without losing that space in your upper back. Firming the triceps so you don't feel inner elbows bending at all. Pull the outer corners of your shoulder blades, outer corners of your collarbones a little bit more apart and see if you can bring the arms a little bit higher. Last 3 breaths here. Dropping the base of the sternum down, lifting the top sternum up towards the hands. Last breath in. See if you can get a little bit bigger. And then as you exhale, release your hands, turn the palms. Maybe look up, bring your hands all the way to touch, keeping your inner elbows completely straight. Open the inner shoulder blades a little wider, lift a little higher. And as you exhale, release your arms all the way down. And you're going to change the cross of your legs so it feels a little bit bizarre, unusual. Change the cross of your thumbs, same thing. Reach your fingertips forward. Inner elbows completely straight, so no bending in the elbows at all. Against that tricep firming in, inner upper arms, biceps pressing out. Reach, elongate the fingers from the inner border of your shoulder blades, giving you all that space in the upper back, and when you're ready, begin to lift your arms. Feel the weight of the bottom sternum, the height, the levity of the upper sternum bone. Open your inner shoulder blades a little wider. The outer upper arms, triceps, spin in towards the tip of the nose. See if you can press your biceps out a little more. Maybe take the arms a little bit higher. Last 2. Pull the inner shoulders out, firm the outer shoulders in. Last breath, up, up, up. Turn the palms facing in. If you can, look up, bring your hands to touch. Lift from under your armpits. See if you can get a little bit more height. And then as you exhale, keeping all that height, release your arms. And you can take the hands behind you, straighten your legs. And come to your hands and knees when you're ready. So we'll take the infamous cat and cow position. Separate your hands so that they are as wide as you need them to be in order to take care of your shoulders and arms. Okay, either point or flexed feet, your choice. With an exhale, you're going to start at the sacrum, rounding your back as much as you can from the lowest point all the way up to eventually the ears releasing down between your arms. And as you inhale, first the ears lift. And you make a sequence down your back until the final part of your pelvis, the sitting bones, lift up. As you exhale, you'll find the round shape, pushing your hands, your tibia, feet down. As you inhale, engage the upper back without dropping the ribs towards the earth. Find that space and take 2 more at your own rhythm. So go as slowly as you need to in order to feel your body working in a sequence. You're not skipping over certain areas of your spine. And then when you're finished, you're going to sit back on your heels in child's pose for a few moments. Stretch your arms out forward, and you'll take it into an active child's pose, working what we worked with the thumbs hooked together just a few moments ago. So you're going to feel the outside of your upper arms so active that the inner elbows become straight. So when the arm is straight, that means the activity of the triceps is enough. Maintain that and then press the inner upper arms, your biceps, slightly outwards to create a little space in your inner shoulders and upper chest. Match those two, outer body in, inner body resisting out, and use that creative energy to help elongate the underside of your arms. Get as much length from your bottom ribs as you can forward. Last 2. 1, now look up, engage the upper back a little, keep your sacrum releasing away from your lumbar, curl your toes under, continue pushing your hips back, begin to lift your knees slowly, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. And if you can, feel free to bend your knees or bend one knee, choose to go slowly. Whatever transitions you might be making, do it mindfully with awareness. Elongating your side hips back. And keeping that little bit of feeling of the sacrum releasing away from the lumbar. So the sacrum doesn't fall in and compress the lumbar from above. And see if you can keep that work in your lower back. And then begin to look up, so you're engaging the upper back without losing that lift in your lower back, and come into plank position. Adjust the feet if necessary, or place your knees down if you need less. Okay, breathe here. So start by pressing every knuckle down. Start with the knuckle underneath your thumb and move that energy across all the way to the pinky finger. Release your fingers down against the mat and stretch them forward as much as you can. Pull from the knuckles back towards the wrist, the palm of the hand back. Open up the hands as wide as you can, and now press the center of your chest up in between your shoulder blades. See if you can do that, but at the same time keep the engagement of the spine so the ears are lifting up as high as the shoulders. It's your last breath in here. Keeping your elbows completely straight, downward facing dog. Push your hips all the way back. You're going to lift your right leg up in down dog. We're taking a stretch, so open, stack your hip, bend the knee, and breathe. Feel free to move either ankle, the top or bottom ankle, if you want to releve, plie that standing leg, or if you want to circle the above ankle. And keep moving the hips back, change legs, lift your left leg, open, bend, stretch. Give the ankles whatever you feel like they need to unwind, as they are the pathway that separates the feet from the hips. And again, you're going to release down into downward facing dog with both feet. Keep moving your hips back as you engage your upper back, look forward, come into plank position. Maintain the feeling of the hips being pushed back towards the heels. At the same time, sides of the spine come forward through the shoulders. Take a big breath in. Shoulder blades away from the ears as you exhale, lower to chaturanga. Come all the way down onto your belly, completely. Now, reach behind your hips, interlace your fingers behind your back. We're taking a little variation of Shalambhasana. So first you're gonna start by extending one leg up off the mat and reaching it back as far as you can, the leg away from the hip point, and then set it down. It will feel a little longer, and you're gonna do the other leg. Lift, stretch energetically back as much as you can, and then release it down. Feel both legs now equally stretching back, lifting up. Roll the sacrum away from your lumbar, and when you're ready, lift into your upper back. Use the muscles of your upper back, so the postural muscles, to create that height in your chest. Equally stretch in length back through your toes, last two. See if you can feel your body get even longer as you inhale. Keep that as you lie down on the exhale. Bring your hands by your chest. Curl your toes under, straight legs or bent knees. The first part of your body that's gonna lift is your sacrum, away from your lumbar. Then you're gonna come up into plank position. Firm your triceps, downward facing dog on the exhale. So spend a couple breaths here. Again, if you need bending of the knees, that's a very useful way to create length and lift in the spine and hips. Last two. One, look forward, bend the knees. If you're ready to jump, hop or walk your feet to your hands. Create length here in Ardha. Exhale, descend completely on Uttanasana. And now open your arms, rotate the shoulders externally as you reach up. Exhale, Tadasana. Arms release down at your sides. Close your eyes and take a few moments. So here we are in Tadasana, the very blueprint of all the standing postures. Spread your toes as wide as you can on the mat. Let all the toes release down and stretch forward. So you're not hardening the toes, but you're weighting them down and elongating the energy. Use that energy of your toes going forward to, in the opposite direction, stretch your heels to the back of the mat. Press the four corners of your feet down as much as you can. And see if you can bring and shift the hips forward so the weight lands on the front of your heels or the front top ankle. This is where the Padabandha or the splittable joint of the foot is. Use the force of your body weight going down through that splittable joint to then feel all four sides of your legs lifting evenly up. So from the outer heels and inner heels pressing down, your outer thighs and inner thighs lift up. From the heels and toes being weighted down, the back and front of your legs lift up until your legs feel as though they are upright in the hip sockets. Keep that feeling of lifting upright and see if you can pull the sides of your pelvis higher up towards the sides of your spine higher towards your earlobes. Keep going up, 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 even beyond the cranium, keeping that height, that energy of Tadasana moving vertically. Last two breaths here. Observe where your mind is at. And now you're going to externally rotate the arms even more. As you inhale, open your arms, reach all the way up. As you exhale, open the arms, bend the knees if necessary, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lift halfway. Plant your hands down, either step back or if you're ready, jump into Chaturanga. You can always lower to the belly if you need to, or upward dog, your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Open up your feet as wide as you need to. Stretch between each toe and breathe. So even if your knees are bent, you can observe the quality of the thighs pulling vertically upwards towards the ceiling. See how much of that you can create, and at the same time the sacrum releases back away from the lumbar over those upright legs. Last breath in. Move the hips back as far as you can as you bend the knees. Look forward. Inhale, either jump or step, feet to hands. Exhale, crown of the head down. Inhale, externally rotate the arms, come vertical. Exhale, hands release to Tadasana, Samastitihi. Inhale, arms go up all the way. Exhale, breath out as you fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, shift the weight, Ardha. Float or step back, Vinyasa, as you exhale. Feel free to take Cobra if you need to. Inhale, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Take a few moments, create that equal press, right hand, left hand. Draw the forearms in from as low as you can feel them where they attach to the wrists. And draw the energy of your inner arms higher so your inner shoulders lift onto your upper back. Now use that power to push the hips back. Bend your knees, keep pushing the hips back, and jump or step as you inhale. Exhale, crown of the head down. Open the arms, biggest breath you can to the top, Urdhva. Exhale, hands release down at your sides, Tadasana, Samastitihi. Again, inhale, arms up. Exhale all the breath out as you come forward, Uttanasana. Ardha as you inhale, stretch forward. Float back as you exhale, plank or chaturanga. Cobra or upward dog, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. So taking a few breaths here. The apex of the pose is the sacrum. So we are trying to create a lift at the very, very bottom of the spine, right above the tailbone. Last two. One. Keep pushing the hips back. Shift your gaze. Float or step as you inhale. Elongation. Exhale, crown of the head down. Externally rotate the arms, come up, big inhale. Tadasana, exhale, Samastitihi. Last time, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold all the breath out. Inhale, elongation. Exhale, jump or float to Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra Urdhva. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Taking your time here. Lateral breathing into the bottom side ribs as much as you can, creating space in your lower back, lower spine. Feel the outer upper thighs being drawn back away from your outer shoulders. Last two. As you exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Begin the inhale, jump or step, Ardha. Exhale, descend on Uttanasana. Inhale, both arms all the way up. Exhale, release your arms down. Close your eyes, Tadasana. And shift the weight into a position over your feet to activate the energy down at the base, at the soles of your feet. Feel the activity, the energy rolling upwards through the sides of your knees, the back of your knees, the front of the knees, up, up, up into all four sides of your pelvis. You feel the four sides of the spine getting a little bit taller without the shoulders manufacturing any tension. We're going to take it into a little modified sun salutation. Open your eyes. Inhale, press the floor, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold all the breath out, completely release your head. Inhale, come onto your fingertips, and now you're going to bend both knees. Bring your thighs as parallel as you can to the earth. And now extend your left leg back parallel like warrior three behind you. Flexed foot, and you're going to try to keep dropping the right hip thigh until it is eventually parallel to the earth. Simultaneously, in opposition, push the top of the left leg up towards the ceiling. Last three. Your upper back is doing Ardha Uttanasana. You're stretching the crown of the head forward, and without any sound at all, step your left toes back behind you. Come up into crescent pose with your arms. Now you're going to interlace your fingers and invert your palms towards the ceiling. See if you can open those inner corners of your shoulder blades away from the spine. Bring the outer corners of your shoulder blades around towards your chest. With your elbow being straight, and I know it's challenging in this variation, but with your inner elbow being straight, can you push the inner shoulders slightly out, and then maybe the arms will come back a little bit further. Go up, up, up with your spine. Now release your fingers vertical, look up, bring your hands together. And as you exhale, release your hands down to the ground. So pause here. We're going into a twist. So keeping your left hand where it is, reach your right arm up, opening your shoulders. Both shoulder blades away from the ears, especially the bottom shoulder blade. Check in there. Bring that shoulder blade on the left arm onto your back. And now use the shoulder blade to turn. And if you can, do that without curling or rounding the upper back at all. Last 3, yes. 2, feel the right hip release down, the left thigh stays resistant, going up. And release both hands down. You're going to come into a plank position and downward dog from here directly. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Exhale, as you bring your right knee to your chest, allow your lower belly to bring your right knee all the way up, the shoulders above the wrists. 3-legged dog again as you inhale. Exhale, now bring your knee to your right outer shoulder where it meets your tricep. Inhale, up and back again. Twist to the left shoulder, outer upper arm near the tricep. Try to keep the shoulders away from the ears. Last time, inhale, 3-legged dog, up and back. Exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Now, if you need padding, you're going to use padding under your left knee. Everybody drop the left knee down, release the toes to point back, and again, come up with your arms. So see if you can create that line of engagement from the inner elbow to your inner shoulder so the bicep feels as though it's pushing your arms out, equal to the energy of your outer shoulders, arms hugging in. Meeting those two forces equally, the hands can maybe press together without bending your inner elbows at all. Push your arms a little bit higher. See if you can make a little mini back bend in your upper back. As you exhale, bring your fingertips down alongside your front foot. Curl your back toes. Okay. Now straighten your back leg, and I challenge you at home to keep your right hip exactly as it is. And now just lift your left leg off the floor so it hovers like a warrior 3. You can walk the hands forward a little bit if you need to. Try to continue dropping down your right hip, lifting your left leg up and moving your spine and left leg away from each other. Last 2. Drop the right hip a little lower, left upper thigh a little higher. 2. Bring your left foot forward to match your right foot and fold completely into Uttanasana. Inhale, open the arms, reach all the way up as big as you can. Go up, up, up. Directly Uttanasana, fold all the way, the breath completely out. Inhale, elongate forward. Now you're on your fingertips, so please bend your knees until your thighs are parallel to the ground, just so you can feel that that is challenging just in and of itself. Keep or resist the hips down, and now just the right leg floats up, parallel to the ground. It's going to feel like a warrior 3 leg. And the opposition of the right leg going up and the left hip coming down is what you're working with. Elongate right heel and spine away from each other. You're pulling your body in 2 directions. Last big breath in. Without any sound or thudding, the right toes gently come down and you float up into the balance for crescent pose. If you can remember, switch the interlaced finger position, invert your palms, and start to work on the resistance of the inner body. So your inner body becomes bright energetically. You're pushing the energy of your inner shoulder blades at the top away, yet the outer arms, the container of the pose, hold steady against that bright inner body. Use the outer shoulder blades coming around towards the chest to go up, up, up. Maybe the arms can go back a little bit. And now you can release the arms all the way up and exhale, hands down. There you go. Good. You're going to plant your hands flat. Reach your left arm up into the twist. So here we want to work with that bottom right shoulder blade coming down away from the base of the neck. Use that shoulder blade as if it was like a hand that you could turn your body around on an axis. Use the lift of the right leg to continue dropping the left hip lower. Last big breath. Open your arms wide, chest wide. Exhale, hands completely down. Okay, from here you're going to go back, step into plank and downward facing dog directly. Lift your left leg as you inhale. As you exhale, allow the lower belly to bring your left knee to chest, shoulders above wrists. Again, stretch three-legged, inhale. Bring the knee towards your left tricep near shoulder. Inhale, stretch it all the way back. Next, exhale, cross the knee to right shoulder. Shoulder blades down. Inhale, all the way reach back, last time. Exhale, use your abdominals to place the foot between your hands. Pad the back knee if necessary. Release your right knee down, point, and take your arms all the way up. So you have to use the resistance of your inner body, your inner shoulders, everything to create space, and at the same time to find the containment of the outer arms. The more your outer arms contain, the straighter your elbows will be. If you can keep your elbows that straight, bring your hands all the way together. Press your hands as if it was coming from the outer part of your arm where it meets the shoulder. Go up, 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 feeling the shoulder blades on your back rather than on your neck. Take another big inhale. You can curl that upper back into a mini back bend. Very good. Exhale, fingertips down to the ground. Tuck your back toes under. Lift your back knee. Now keep your left hip low. If you need to, walk the hands forward a little bit. Yeah, make it a tiny bit easier. The back toes come up off the ground if you can. Don't lift the left hip at all. Keep the left hip low. The right leg is the only thing that flies. The more you drop the left hip down, the more you'll be able to reach through the right leg, through the spine. Last two. And place your right foot forward between your hands. Fold completely down. Inhale, open your arms. Make it the biggest breath. Press your feet into the earth. Tadasana Samastitihi. Exhale. Very good. Close your eyes. Breathe in a way that helps you to feel your diaphragm releasing down on the inhalation towards the earth. When you're exhaling, the diaphragm, as it relaxes, you're going to decarbonize your body, so you're creating a more alkaline environment inside. So all the breath out each time. Open your eyes, keeping your gaze, your facial muscles soft. Externally rotate your shoulders onto your upper back. Reach up with a big inhale and stay in this position. Move your hips back and down for chair pose as you exhale. If you get parallel with your thigh bones, turn your sitting bones towards your heels, and now keep that as you fold, hands all the way, exhaling out. Inhale, look up. Floater step vinyasa as you exhale. Inhale, urdhva. Exhale, adho mukha. Okay, step the right foot forward between your hands. You're going to turn your back foot so it's at an angle, about a 45-degree angle. And now, if you need to, you can open up your feet a little bit wider apart. Okay, now press as much as you can the top part of your left thigh up towards the ceiling. And at the same time, resist your hips down against your back leg. You don't feel like at all you lose the lift in the left leg as the right hip drops lower. Warrior one position. When you're ready, rotate the arms out and all the way up. As you exhale, release your hands down. You can choose to step into a plank or chaturanga or down dog. Inhale, urdhva mukha. Exhale, adho mukha. Step your left foot forward, turn your right foot at an angle, about a 45 degrees angle. And now you can open up the feet wider than heel to heel if you want to. You can make your heels hip distance or wider if you want to. Play with those two elements. Top of right thigh up, top of left thigh down. So again, you feel the resistance in that back leg supporting you, and without letting your left hip lift any higher, rotate the arms externally and inhale all the way to the top. Exhale, hands down. You choose to go to plank and hold or chaturanga or down dog. Inhale, urdhva. Exhale, adho mukha. Okay, taking a few moments. Observe your breathing. Of course, here, the work of the triceps is supporting the movement of the outer corners of the shoulder blades around towards your sternum, towards the front of your chest. The lift of your inner shoulders, arms, gives you that feeling of the shoulder blades being on your upper back, like that. And use that to push your hips back, bend your knees, and floater step as you inhale, Ardha. Exhale, Uttanasana. Now sit your hips back and down, sitting bones towards heels if you get parallel, arms up. And then you press the floor away to stand. As you exhale, release hands down, Tadasana Samastitihi. So we're going to take it through Surya Namaskara. Be at tempo. Bend the knees as the arms float. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to the earth, Uttanasana. Ardha, inhale, lift halfway. March it or step it back to chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, urdhva. Exhale, adho mukha. Right foot forward, the left heel spins. Inhale as you lift up. Exhale, go to down dog directly or chaturanga, your choice. Inhale. Exhale. End of that exhale, left foot comes forward, right heel spins. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, go to down dog or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or urdhva. Push the floor away as you exhale, adho mukha. Observe your breath, so organize the energy of your breathing. The front and the sides of the ribs gently rotate closed when you exhale. Last two. Lift your gaze, continuously moving the hips back as you bend the knees. Float or step. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, Uttanasana. Chair pose, sit as deep as you can. Reach your arms. And Tadasana. Exhale, Samastitihi. Last time, inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway. Float back, down dog or chaturanga. Inhale, urdhva cobra. Exhale, adho mukha. Right foot forward, same exhale. Left heel spins. Inhale, come up. Exhale, vinyasa, using your breath. End of the exhale of down dog, the left foot steps forward, right heel spins. You're going to use your whole inhale to come up. Exhale, release your hands, and you choose to move with your breath through the vinyasa. Pause in down dog, or if at home you feel you've reached your limit, you can always rest on your knees in child's pose or Bhadrasana. Either way, slowing the pace of the breath down. Last two. Continuously reaching your hips back, bend your knees, march or jump. When you're ready, top of the mat extending. Exhale, Uttanasana. As deep as you can, chair pose, inhale. And stand on the exhale, release arms, Tadasana Samastitihi. Organize your feet on the earth. Use each breath to create not only the feeling of length in the spine, but relaxation in all of the muscles from the neck down through your shoulders and your mid-back. Feel the front of the hips opening, so the sacrum will naturally fall away from the lumbar, giving you that tractioning space in your lower back. Last two breaths. Now open your eyes. You're going to take your right arm out towards the right side like an airplane. And you're going to do internal rotation, turning your thumb all the way down, and even if you can, parallel to the ceiling. Now start to bring your arm back into extension, and when you're ready, bend the elbow and place your hand as high as you can on your upper back, right on the center of the spine if you can, between your shoulder blades. Now reach back with your left hand and gently hold your right elbow. And if you can, you're going to gently just guide the elbow to move towards your sacrum. So the elbow will eventually release straight down. The whole upper part of your right shoulder, the trapezius, is releasing, so the outer corner of your collarbone is actually slightly lower, releasing down towards the elbow. Now maintain this position if you can. You can always use a kitchen towel or a belt in your left hand if you need it. Otherwise, if you don't, just stretch your left arm forward in front of you. Now you're going to do external rotation, which means the palm faces up. Move the shoulder blade away from your left spine and see if you can guide the arm with your shoulder blade all the way up towards the ceiling. Reach up so the outer tricep turns towards the tip of the nose, and then you bend the elbow, and either you grab your shirt or your kitchen towel, whatever it is, maybe your fingers connect. Take a big breath in without letting the frontal hip bones drop down. So you have that feeling of flying up with your frontal hip bones. You're just going to bring your left toes a few centimeters back behind your right heel. See if you can continue. The front ribs are relaxing down into your body away from your t-shirt. Your frontal hip bones are lifting up, and you're going to slowly reach back into Warrior 3, bringing your upper body parallel in line with your hips, and lifting or pushing the top of the left leg up, parallel in line with your hips. From the left heel to the left elbow, you're moving the hip and the bottom left ribs away from each other, creating space in your side waist. Last 3 breaths here. Now start to bend your right knee. Keep the left leg going up, up, up like crazy. See how low you can get your right hip. And without any sound at all, bring your left toes to the ground behind you, crescent pose. You're going to release both arms into the vertical position. Inhale all the way up. Very good. Maybe if you can, you look up, touch your hands. And now as you exhale, you're going to bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers like we did in Shalambhasana. Switch the interlace if you can remember. Inhale, lift your upper back a little bit more. As you exhale, now lie down over your front leg. You're going to see if you can keep your shoulders onto your upper back. Maybe you can lift your arms just a little bit away from your body. Okay. Stay this low in your body. Shift the weight into your right foot and see if you can lift your left toes off the ground, even if it's just a little bit into the air. Good. Take a big breath in. Now bring your left foot forward to join your right foot. You're going to keep your hands interlaced. You're going to go to chair pose with your arms behind your back. One inhale. And now as you exhale, bring your belly, chest down onto your thighs and fold arms overhead and stretch. So arms like this. Yeah, there you go. Good. Open up those outer corners of the shoulder blades as much as you can. Last 3, 2, keep your arms exactly as they are. Start to bring your hips back as far as you can. Bend your knees, lower your hips. Sitting bones are going to turn towards your heels. And now you're going to bring your torso as upright as you can with your arms in this position. See how low you can sit into chair pose. Release your arms up. Big breath in. Maybe you touch your hands, look up. And stand into Tadasana. Exhale, arms release down. Samastitihi. So find that equal standing in your feet. The right foot, left foot, all 4 corners of the feet press evenly down. The 4 sides of your legs are lifting into an upright position. The sides of your spine elegantly grow taller. All the while that this energy is coming up, the shoulders feel relaxed. There's no tension in your shoulders at all. Now you're going to reach your left arm so it's like an airplane, parallel to the floor to your left. Internally rotate the arm, and eventually the thumb will come all the way parallel to the ceiling. Now start to move the arm into extension behind you. When you're ready, bend the elbow and lift and place your left hand as high as you can on your upper back between the shoulder blades on the spine. With your right hand, reach behind your back. Try to bring the elbow towards the midline. So the objective is to feel the tension of the upper left trapezius release. So the outer corner of your left shoulder, the outer collarbone, is releasing slightly down. Maintain as much of this position as you can. Now reach your right arm in front of you and feel your left hand is helping you to be aware of this. Your right shoulder blade moves away from the right side of the spine. This is called protraction. Now you're going to rotate the shoulder in external rotation. Keep both of those, protraction and external rotation, and let the shoulder blade rotate your arm up over your head. See how much you can go up with your elbow as you drop your hand down, and either you're using a prop or you're clasping your fingers together. Notice if this pushed your front ribs forward, as many of us move from the ribs instead of the shoulders. The front ribs are releasing away from your t-shirt, so they disappear underneath your skin. The frontal hip bones have to fly up, Uddiyana. And as much as you can maintain that, we're going to challenge the pelvis by moving the right toes a few centimeters behind your left heel. Can you keep the lift of your right frontal hip bone up towards your bottom right ribs as you start to move into the warrior three position? So the body goes forward rather than down, and the back leg lifts up as it reaches back. The more your frontal hip bones fly up into those little floaty ribs, there you go, the more you won't feel your lower back collapse against gravity. Elbow to right heel, you're moving, you're stretching the inner spine longer. Last 3, 2, top of the right thigh goes continuously up, and see how deeply you can bend your left knee. So the left hip will go parallel as the right leg goes up, resisting that. Now without any sound at all, place your right toes at the back of the mat, keeping your arms as they are, come up into crescent. And now when you're ready, release your arms all the way up. Take a big inhale. Now if you can, move the shoulders onto your back, bring your hands together, press your palms, look up. Interlace the hands behind your back, go back to the original interlace, the normal interlace. Inhale, pelvis flying up into your bottom ribs. Exhale, lie down over your front leg. See if you can feel your frontal hip bones basically lifting your back leg off the ground. They're flying up so much. The top of the right thigh starts to lift, and you're going to find that moment of floating with your back leg up off the ground. See if you can hover here, shoulder blades onto your upper back. Take a big inhale. Bring your right foot to join your left foot. Sit back and down, chair pose with your arms like this. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, frontal hip bones lifting up as you release your chest down. All the way the arms are going to float overhead into a little stretch here. Okay. So your shoulder blades should feel like they're living on your upper back, not falling down with gravity onto your neck. Last 2. See if you can even lift your inner knees, thighs a little bit more upright in your hip sockets. Last breath. Keep your arms as they are for the time being. Move your sitting bones, hips as far back and down as you can. If you can turn your sitting bones towards your heels with your thighs parallel, bring your torso into an upright position here. Now bring your arms overhead. See if you can sit a little deeper. Bring your hands together and look up. Stand into Tadasana as you exhale, release your arms. Breathe. Now bring your hands to your hips. Separate your feet about hip distance apart. Inhale, look up. Parangushtasana as you exhale, reach down, hold your big toes. Take an inhale, elongate chest muscles forward. Exhale, release your spine down. And again, it's just that very subtle feeling of your inner shoulder blades being lifted up so they're not crashing down against the weight of your cervical vertebra. The more the shoulders lift onto your upper back, the more I want you to remember not to arch your lumbar. especially for those of you who have mobile sacrums. Keep the lengthening happening to the upper back as much as you can. Last 2. 1. Now you're going to look up. You're going to keep a hold of your right big toe, and you're going to take your left fingertips on the ground in front of you. Some of you may also want to use a block. Now you're going to take your right leg straight out like an airplane wing towards the right side. If it's possible, you're going to lift the leg as high as your right pelvis. Keep doing Ardha Uttanasana in your upper spine. Last 3. Very good. 2 and 1. Lowering the foot. Switching the grip, left fingers around left big toe, right fingertips forward or use a block. When you're ready on an inhale, float the leg out. If you can, parallel with your hips. Use the work of the standing leg. So the outer knee, outer thigh lifts up as you take your spine forward. Last 2, lift it a little higher if you can. And release, foot down. Padahastasana, you're going to insert the hands underneath your feet, toes to wrists. Big spinal elongation, inhale, and exhale the crown of the head down towards the earth. So use your breathing to create this little feeling of space and release. Inner shoulders lift up and broaden out to the sides. Outer shoulders are gently hugging in towards the front of your chest. Last 2. 1. Inhale, lift the vertebra between your ears. Place your hands on your side hips as you exhale. Keep your elbows in parallel, vertical position with the postural muscles. Inhale, and jump your feet to Samastitihi as you exhale. External rotation in the arms. Inhale, go up. All the breath out as you exhale, hands down. Inhale, elongate, prepare. Jump or step as you exhale, chaturanga or down dog direct. Inhale, exhale. Take a couple breaths, pause. Now you're going to look up between your hands and float your right knee into your chest and hover there in a plank position. Now you're going to bring your knee across to the outside of your left arm and extend your leg underneath your body. Okay, rest on the little baby toe edge of that right foot and just stay here. Okay, some of you are going to stay in this position for a few moments, shoulder blades away from the ears. Others are going to try chaturanga here, lowering down, bringing your torso parallel with your elbows. Push it back up. Inhale. Turn the back heel. We're going into fallen triangle. When you're ready, lift up your left shoulder. Okay. Push the shoulder blades away from the spine, that bottom right shoulder blade especially away from your ear. Lifting the left side of your waist, so not the left ribs slightly down, left waist slightly up. Feel even the inner left thigh pushing you up. Last 2 breaths. Last 1. Rotate your chest down to face the floor, bring your hands down, and you're going to turn onto your back toes and go back into that 3-legged dog stretch. As you inhale, step your foot between your hands as you exhale. Good. Now you're going to turn your back heel into warrior 1 position. Inhale, come all the way up with both arms. Good. As you exhale, you're going to lower your arms parallel like an airplane. Internally rotate both shoulders. Bring the arms both equally back into extension, bend your elbows, and if you can, you're coming into prayer behind your back. Good. See if you can gently move the elbows back away from the front of the body. There you go. Now take a big inhale so the frontal hip bones are flying up into your bottom floaty ribs. Keep that as you lie down, hovering over your right thigh. Pause when you get there. So turn onto your back toes, and now you're going to step forward into warrior 3, and once you get into warrior 3, you're going to rotate your chest open into Ardha Chandrasana with your arms in this variation. So once you're hovering and you find your balance, rotate your chest open, turn even your left toes, if you can imagine, up towards the ceiling, so you externally rotate even the top leg. Externally rotate both legs at the hip sockets as much as you can and feel your frontal hip bones flying up into your bottom floaty ribs. Last 3 breaths here. 2 breaths. Now slowly rotate your pelvis back into warrior 3. Bend your right knee super slowly and with control, without any sound. The left toes go back to crescent pose. Reach your arms up all the way over your head as you inhale. Exhale, both hands down. Come into just downward facing dog from here. Take a few moments and breathe. Inhale, now you're coming into plank. With as much control as you can, bring the shoulders down away from your ears. Lift your forearms and lower your body slowly with control to the earth. Slow, slow, slow. Very good. Now you're going to come onto your elbows and we're going to work on forearm plank. So you can do this on your knees or have your toes curled under with your legs straight. And what I want you to feel in forearm plank is your bottom front ribs, your frontal hip bones coming together at the same time. Good. Now if you can and you want a little bit more, stretch your left arm forward and be on your fingertips out in front of you. Maybe lift your left arm up parallel. Okay. See if you can rotate the outer shoulder blade around towards the chest. There you go. Last 3. Sacrum away from your lower back. 2. Fly those hip bones forward into your chest. Come back. You're going to switch arms and do your best not to rock your hips from side to side. And I know how challenging that is, so I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying do your best. As the frontal hip bones fly forward, reach and lift that right shoulder until the hand comes off the ground. There you go. Outer corners of the shoulder blades around towards the chest. Take a big inhale. Come down onto your elbows, lower onto your tummy. Very good. Point your toes behind you. Now reach your hands behind your back. Cross your fingers the unusual way for Shalambhasana. Okay, and this time what we're going to do is we're going to bend the knees so the feet are facing towards the ceiling with your feet flexed. The heels are in flexion. Try to push your thighs up away from the ground. Good. And then when you're ready, you can lift up your upper body. So starting with the cervical spine. Good. Now see how much you can direct the sacrum away from the lower back. So again, your frontal hip bones are flying up. Lift your knees as high away from the ground as you can. And now keep the legs lifting up and straighten your knees, reaching your toes back. Take a big inhale, see if you can get more length. And on the exhale, release your forehead completely down. Good. Bring your hands into cobra position. We're going to take 5 breaths in upward facing dog. So if you need cobra instead, do cobra. But when you're ready, inhale, come up, and we're going to hold upward facing dog. Top part of the thighs lift towards the ceiling. You fly your hip bones up, open your inner shoulder blades, push your shoulders onto your upper back and work the vertebra in that upper back as much as you can. Feel the inner arms resist out, the hands press down. Take another big breath in, come to plank position and downward facing dog all the way. Good job. Breathing. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Now feel your lower abdomen. Bring your knee to the chest, shoulders above your wrists. Twist your knee across to the right outer shoulder. Extend your left leg. You're going to rest on the little baby toe edge of your foot. Stay here just working the shoulder blades away from the ears, some of you. Otherwise, you're going to try to very skillfully lower into chaturanga and hover with your torso at the height of your elbows. Come back to plank if you can. Turn the back heel. And when you're ready, you're going to come into that fallen triangle. Again, open the inner shoulder blades so they're not crowding the spine. Then when you feel that shoulder blades away from their ears, and you're going to use that bottom left shoulder blade on your upper back to turn your belly, sternum, chest. There you go. Rotate your belly open to the ceiling. Last 3. Lifting the right side of the waist, dropping the right rib slightly. 2. And release. Rotate your chest towards the floor. Turn onto your right toes. Go into 3-legged dog as you inhale. And as you exhale, step into warrior 1, first warrior position. Lower your arms now like an airplane parallel. internal rotation with the shoulders. Bring the arms back into extension, bend your elbows and place your hands as high as you can on your upper back. Move the elbows slightly to the back side of the body. Frontal hip bones flying up as you lean forward and pause. Rotate over onto your back toes. Step slowly forward to balance your body first in Warrior 3. Once you have the balance, you're going to rotate your torso open towards the right side of your mat. If you can today, as a variation, just rotate even your toes of the right leg up towards the ceiling. See if you can find the upper thighs externally rotating way inside the hip sockets. And your little frontal hip bones fly into your belly. There you go. Turn, turn, turn your chest open. Last 2. See if you can maintain the work of the outer legs and start to rotate your chest back to Warrior 3 position. Bend your knee, keeping the back leg lifted as long as you can. You're going to step with your toes very silently down. Bring your torso upright. Bring your arms upright. Take a big inhale, stretch up. Exhale, release your hands down, downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Open your mouth, let it out with a little bit of a sigh. Come into plank position. And with as much control as possible, feel your inner shoulder blades push away from the spine as you bend your elbows. Keep pushing the shoulder blades away from the spine as you come all the way completely down for forearms plank. Use your knees on the ground if you need to. Okay, breathe. Now we're going to lift the right foot as minimally off the ground as possible, so just a few millimeters hover. Frontal hip bones fly up. Maybe left arm as well. So you're doing a cross diagonal balance and breathe for 3. Very good. 2. First the elbow down, then the foot down, and we're going to switch sides. So just do the feet if the arms are too much. Then you do, if you can, left foot, right arm, breathing. Frontal hip bones flying up into your belly. Last 2. Good, good, good. Elbow down first. Foot down and release onto your tummy, completely down. Very good. Okay, now you're going to take your arms out overhead like super person, superhero pose. Okay, and you're going to stretch your legs back and up off the ground. And then when you're ready, you're going to keep your forehead on the ground. Feel your shoulder blades come onto your upper back. And as your shoulder blades come onto your upper back, you're going to lift your hands up a little bit off the ground. And if you have managed all of that and you want to add the lift of the head, go ahead. Open your inner shoulder blades. Bring them around towards your chest and feel that your under triceps are turning towards the tip of the nose. Take another big breath in. Exhale, release down. Okay, you're going to come back onto your elbows and you're going to actually prepare yourself now for dolphin pose. So if you need to interlace the hands, you can. Otherwise, rotate your palms down onto the ground. Okay, curl your toes under, lift up, and you're going to march your feet towards your hands. Okay, push the inside of your wrist, your elbows down, lifting the inside part shoulder onto your upper back, and use that inside of your shoulder lifting up and onto your back against walking your feet a little closer. Or if you can't walk your feet a little closer, lift your heels a little higher. Last 3. Last 2. And child's pose. Come down onto your knees, point your toes, let your arms release back and shoulders relaxed. Taking a few moments, breathe. Open up into the sides of your body. And when you're ready, you're going to reach your arms forward, extended child's pose. Push your hips back, curl your toes under, continuously pushing your hips back as you come into downward facing dog. And walk your feet back or adjust your stance as needed for a couple breaths here. So stretch out in downward facing dog. Okay, now you're gonna lift your right leg all the way up and back. Open your hip, bend your knee. Now lift your left heel into a releve as high as you can. Now you're gonna turn your left heel towards the left and very slowly with control start to lower your right toes behind your left leg. Keep your right heel as lifted as you can. Turn your pelvis open towards the ceiling and let your frontal hip bones fly up to meet your bottom rib cage. Last 2. Think of your upper back doing the back bending, not your lumbar. Last breath in. And now you're gonna come back to 3-legged dog. And we're gonna do the second side directly. So you can lift your left leg up, open your hip, bend the knee, stretch it out. Lift your right heel as high as you can first into a really high releve. And with control, spin your heel open towards the right edge of the mat. And with control, the toes of the left foot, not the heel, just the little toes come down. And work with keeping your lower back from back bending so readily. Make your upper back vertebrae start to engage a little more. Last 2. Gracefully, 3-legged dog, using your abdominals, gather your center body, and downward facing dog. Good work. Look between your hands or way past your hands. You're gonna try to jump through and sit. Good. So, with your knees bent and your feet a little wider than your hips, hold the backs of your thighs and lower down just until you're on your lumbar spine. And you're gonna hold there for a couple breaths. And now release your fingertips forward, see if you can maintain that position. Can you maintain the rounding in your lower back and just start to articulate a little back bend in your upper back, which brings your ears in line with your shoulders? Last 3. Last 2, really controlled, continue lowering all the way down. Straighten your legs, reach your arms when you're done. Okay, now you're gonna bring your hands either into a hooked position overhead, like we worked in seated at the very beginning of class. Okay, or if that's too much, you can always slip your hands underneath your pelvis. Okay, bend your knees. We're going to take the legs into the vertical position for Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. Starting with just the left leg, on the exhale, lower your left leg halfway down to the floor and pause. So right where your upper left hamstring meets the buttock, reach the leg away from you more, and then see if you can lower the leg until it's just a few millimeters over the ground. See if you can push the back of the right leg, same location where the hamstring meets the buttock, up vertically. So you go with the right leg vertical and with the left leg horizontal, and you're stretching the legs as far as you can. Last 2. Make the leg on the left side reach further as you bring it up on an inhale. Right leg goes 50% or halfway down as you exhale. Okay, stay here. Reach the top thigh away from you on the right side. Reach the top thigh on the left side vertical. How much can you activate, elongate the inside edges of your knee joints? Lower that right leg down until it's hovering just a few more millimeters. See if you can extend now truly horizontally to the floor with your right leg, vertically with your left leg. Now make your right leg even longer. Inhale, bring it up. Both legs halfway down, hold at 50% and breathe. Elongate the tops of the thighs. So you're going to feel your frontal hip bones flying up into your bottom ribs. Corset those areas together, maybe challenged by lowering your legs a little bit further as you exhale. And then inhale, bring yourself back to vertical position. Switch the lace of your thumbs if you have that overhead. And now we're going to go slowly with your breath. As you exhale, lower the legs as far as you can with control, without arching the lower back. As you inhale, reach the legs away from you and back to vertical. As you exhale, lower. As you inhale, come back. 2 more. As you exhale, lower. Very good. As you inhale, come back. One more time. As you exhale, lower. Reach the legs away from you. As you inhale, come back. Very good. And drop your knees into your chest and give yourself a little squeeze. Super. Breathe naturally when you're ready. Let go of forced exhalations. You're going to start to rock forward and back on your spine. Enough momentum so you can rock up and sit. Okay. Now, you're going to reach and hold your big toes like you did in Padangusthasana. Okay. See if you can balance on your sitting bones here, lifting your feet up off the ground. Maybe you can take your legs towards a halfway straight or fully straight position. Urdhva Mukha. Here we go, upward facing. There you go. And now see if you can look up without arching the lower back, just starting to bring that little bit of a feeling of arch into the upper part of your back between the shoulder blades. Last two, very good. Reach your arms forward, see if you can balance in Navasana, just one breath, inhale. Cross your ankles, bring your knees into the chest as you exhale. So use blocks on the outside of your hips if you have blocks at home. If you don't, you can just use your hands on the ground. Place your hands on the blocks. Try to maintain elbows squeezing in towards your body, shoulder blades away from the ears. Curl your frontal hip bones, let them fly up into your bottom ribs. See if you can lift your hips off the ground and eventually maybe even your feet will come up off the ground, knees all the way into the chest for 3. Not the lower back arching, just the upper back a little bit too, so the ears maintain in line with the shoulders, and release your hips down. You're gonna change the crisscross of your legs, bring your other one in front. Place your hands on the floor blocks. Rotate the elbows in next to your body, shoulder blades away from the ears. Let the hip bones fly up into your bottom ribs so much you can lift your hips up, maybe your feet up, knees touching your chest muscles. Last 3, 2, and release your hips all the way down. Very good. Lie down on your back. Take a moment. We're going to work with supported bridge pose if you have blocks, or regular bridge pose if you don't. Let's see. Take your time making sure it's in the center of your pelvis so you're not more on the right or left hip. When you look at your pelvis, you should see the hip bones equal distance. Just create a little bit of a movement with your breath, everything else starting to relax and soften, especially in the shoulders. If you have the block, you're going to lift a little bit just to remove the block and then release and come all the way down. So organize your feet if you're doing bridge pose or Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward bow posture. Take your arms, stretch all the way over your head. So you could do bridge pose with your arms like a handstand if you wanted to. Some of you are going to work on bending the elbows and placing your fingertips underneath your shoulders. So even if you're just doing this rotation with your shoulders in bridge pose, see if you can maintain that feeling of the outer triceps turning in towards the tip of the nose. Maintain that as your hips go as high as possible up. Okay, now continue lifting the hips up, and you're going to come to the top of your head, just like a tripod headstand. Maintain that position. The outer elbows in, the outer triceps towards the tip of the nose. Maybe you come up all the way off your head. Some of you might choose to stay on your head. As your head is releasing, your inner shoulders are lifting onto your upper back. Then the hips from the feet are being pushed all the way towards the ceiling. Take another big breath in. Bring your chin all the way to your chest, and you're going to lower down and rest for a couple moments. Good. You're very welcome to choose to continue to go just with bridge pose. Okay. Otherwise, rotate your arms up over your head. Bend your elbows. Placing your hands underneath your shoulders. You're lifting your hips into bridge pose as high as you can. Maintain the work in the legs. Your frontal hip bones flying towards your bottom ribs. Come to the crown of the head if you can. Observe what your arms are doing. Feel the inner shoulders already lifting away from your ears, and come up if you're ready, Urdhva Dhanurasana. So as the whole foot presses down the back of the leg, the hips, move your pelvis higher towards the ceiling. You're even rotating your frontal hip bones, ribs towards each other. Take a big breath in, look towards your chest, and come down as you exhale. Good. And then take one knee into your chest and straighten the opposite leg forward. On your next exhale, you're going to do a little mini crunch. Reach your forehead, chest towards your right knee, and with both hands, reach for your right foot. Hold onto the right foot and start to press your right leg forward away from you until the knee ideally would come a little more over your right hip. Yeah, really use that to stretch the upper back, the lower back. Think of the top of your hamstring on the left leg pushing forward. Last two. Now with super control, come down slowly, switch legs. So this is just to counter the back bend. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, use your abdominals, forehead, chest to knee. Grab your foot with both hands. And now use the strength of both legs pushing forward. So right at the top where your hamstring meets your glutes, you're pushing energy away. Use that to get a nice stretch in your upper back, a little more engagement in your tummy. Last two. And slowly with control, head down. Now both knees to chest. On the exhale, bring your chest, forehead up to your knees. Hold your feet. Try to press your feet forward as much as you can. Keep going if you can. Push, 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 push. Lift your feet a little higher. If you can, parallel with your feet. Last three. Push a little bit more. Two. And hug your knees. Very good. With control, release down. And now you're going to rock your spine forward and back until you can sit. Good job. Dandasana. Extend your legs out in front. So all the toes reach in the same direction up. The very top part of your heel, the front heel, is stretching away from you. And it feels like it could even almost pull your sitting bones towards it. Even your pubic bone feels like it could go towards your heels. Now use that feeling, that activation in your legs. You can bring your hands around by the sides of your hips. Okay. But keep your elbows rotating in towards the midline. So you might have to turn your hands out, especially if you have a carrying angle. Keep your legs reaching forward. And now use your hands to help your spine start to lift up. So the lumbar starts to engage and come into your body. Last two breaths here. Dandasana. Two shoulders stay relaxed. Big breath in. Okay, and now bending the right knee, bring your right heel in line with your right sitting bone. Bring, if you need it, your right fingertips onto a block, and then bring your left arm vertical. Okay. So take a big inhale. See if you can get that same little lift in your lumbar spine. And then as you exhale, take your left shoulder all the way to the outside of your right thigh. Do your very best now to breathe so that you create an upward feeling in your spine rather than your shoulders as you inhale. And as you exhale, a little deeper rotation. And I'm going to bring this back more behind your center. Yeah, and try to stay up on your fingers. There you go. The shoulder blades push out, and that's what gives you that little extra space for rotation. Yeah, there you go. And stretch it back at the same time. That's it. Last two. Look forward, take an inhale, try to keep your right shoulder blade relaxed down. And then as you exhale, release the twist. You're going to cross your right ankle over your left thigh, just above the kneecap on the left side. Good. Take both arms up into the vertical position. Again, up, up, up. And rather than going down, think forward as you exhale. Maybe you can hold your foot or a yoga strap or towel. Take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, maybe you come a little deeper. And just think of from deep inside your right hip socket, the right knee is rotating away from the right shoulder, chest towards the front of the mat. Breathing here. And the pelvis has that little upward flying energy that helps the belly to lift over the top part of your legs. Last two. Lift the vertebrae between your ears, lift and engage your upper back muscles, and now reach your arms all the way over your head and come up into the vertical position. And now bring your hands behind your hips onto the floor, onto the yoga mat, a little bit further back. And now you're going to bend your left knee and set your left foot flat on the ground. So some of you are going to stay, in a much shallower stretch. Others are going to go deeper by moving your hips and heel so the left hip, left heel eventually touch all the way together. Yeah, that's it. Same rotation sensation in the deepest part of your right hip. The external rotators are helping the right knee to rotate away from your right shoulder chest towards the front of the room. See if you can feel that as your lower back starts to engage, slightly helping you to come into an upright position in your spine. Last two breaths. Now you're going to walk your left foot towards the right edge of the mat and bring your right foot down with the knee in the vertical position for Ardha Matsyendrasana. You can bring your left heel closer to your right hip, but not underneath your right hip. Good. And again, take your right hand either onto a block or onto the floor behind you on fingertips. Left arm up, so we're going back into the twist. Take a big inhale. And again, as you exhale, left shoulder outside thigh. Good. Here you go with the breathing. So each time you inhale, you're feeling a little more up. Each time you exhale, a little more rotation. I think you got more in there. There you go. So as the elbow shoulder blade pushes one way, the upper back supports you and resists. Breathe. Two more. Last one. Look forward. So you go the opposite direction. Feel your right shoulder relax even more deeply. And then release, unwind your body completely. Okay, take your legs forward to a straight position for a moment. We're going to bend the left knee, bringing the left heel in front of the sitting bone. Use a block underneath your left fingertips if it's necessary. Take your right arm up. Good. Go up as big as you can. Inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your right shoulder around to the outside of the thigh. Okay, gather length, not by lifting the shoulders, but bring it up from the base of the spine, this height. That's it. Try to rotate your toes up. And yeah, there you go. That keeps that. Yeah, so we got to get into these muscles here. Each time you breathe, you might find a little more space so that you can relax what's necessary in the shoulders and neck, and you can engage the spine. Two more. Last breath. Look forward, feel that left shoulder deeply relax, yes. And then release the twist. Bring your left ankle over your right thigh, just above the kneecap. Take your arms up over your head when you're ready. The arms are really fueled by this energy of the lower spine, and you're gonna go forward as far as you can. If you need a prop, grab it. Again, take an inhale, feel your little hip bones bring energy up into your bottom front ribs, and you go forward with your belly, sternum, chest in the fold here. And you're having a deep external rotation at the top, at the root of your left thigh bone. And it's gonna rotate the knee away from your shoulder towards the front of the mat. Each time you breathe, you might feel another little wave of energy bringing you forward. Eventually thinking of the top of your head touching your right big toe. And last two breaths. Oh yeah, there you go. Lift the vertebra between your ears. Engage the vertebra of your upper back. Stretch your arms alongside your ears and come all the way up into the vertical position. Hey, there it is, good. And then release your arms behind your back. You can walk the hands a little bit back, slide your right leg towards you. Eventually, if you can, bring the right heel in line with your right sitting bone. Then you're using the muscles of the back, the postural muscles, to bring yourself up onto the center of the sitting bones. Yeah, so it feels like you're getting up on the sitting bones like Navasana. Good. It's not in the shoulders or the face muscles. This is coming from way down in the lumbar spine. Last two. And now we're going to walk the right foot all the way across towards your left hip, so the heel is just outside your left hip. Your left foot is on the ground outside your knee, and your knee is upright if you can. Replace the block if you need it behind you with your left fingertips on top. Reach your right arm up. Good. Go up, up, up as you inhale. Turn and bring your outer shoulder to the outside of your knee as you exhale. And breathe. So the elbow is actually literally pulling the left shoulder blade away from the spine. Irrigate that space in your upper back. Find the engagement in your upper vertebras. Turn, turn, turn when you exhale, a little deeper. Last three breaths. With your next inhale, look forward, feel the left shoulder blade completely relaxing down, and then release the twist. Whew. Okay, Paschimottanasana, extend your legs out in front. Reach both arms up. Give it your best, biggest inhale. Now go forward as you exhale. Grab whatever is available. Feel that wave coming up from between the hip bones, pushing your belly, your sternum, your chest forward, and then you can go a little deeper into the forward bend. breathing. Start by lifting the muscles of your upper back, neck, engaging. Oh yeah. Now reach your arms forward by your ears. Stretch those arms more. And then come all the way up. Okay, you can release down onto your back when you're ready. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Okay, you're gonna take your knees over into a twist to the right side for a couple breaths. Open up the left shoulder arm and just breathe. You can stretch your arm if you want. Yeah. You could even do that one if you wanted. Yeah, put that shoulder. Yeah, there you go, onto your upper back. Inhale, come to the center. And when you're ready, go to the second side. Take out your right arm, opposite of your legs, and breathe. Reclining, relaxing the tension of the body, but not completely leaving the space that you're in. Staying very present and attuned to what's happening internally. End of your next exhale, finish the breath, and as you inhale, bring your knees in. We're taking Shavasana. If there's anything else that you might need before you go into the corpse pose, go ahead. Placing a pillow underneath your head is always useful, especially if you feel your chin is up higher than your forehead. Okay, go ahead. It's okay. Place your arms, shoulders comfortably. Relax the breathing, don't have to do anything else. Now you let go and rest completely. come back with your breathing. Wiggle your fingers, toes. Stretch your arms overhead. Place your feet on top of the cushion or mat with your knees bent. And see if you can get a little bit more connected to your physical body. Bring your knees to your chest when you're ready. And you can come all the way over onto one side, spending a few moments in the fetal position. Stay as long as you want. Come up when you're ready and sit cross-legged position of your choice. Closing your eyes. Bringing your hands to Anjali Mudra. And allowing your forehead to release down so you can take a look inside at your heart. Observe any feelings of connection you might have towards yourself after you practice. Bringing your head up, blinking your eyes open. Namaste.